how many of you know that when you're raised around average people who do
Right.
average things, you yourself become average?
Right.
And
Absolutely.
I became an average adult. Average
Right.
relationship, average family, average job. I lived on average boulevard. I drove an average car.
Right.
Everything about me was average. And about 10 years ago, I decided after
Tired of being average.
I got
Yeah.
tired of being
Right.
average, and I
Right.
looked at my life, and I
Right.
saw that my average living was affecting those who was around me.
Right.
And so I made a decision 10 years ago to break the spirit of average. And that's when God had given me this title. I thought that I had hijacked it from somebody, an avid reader. And
Right.
so I went
had
on
to have gotten it from somewhere.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
I couldn't have thought this on my own,
Right,
right?
right.
And so I went to Google, GoDaddy, found it was open. And then in a matter of about 30 minutes, I took the word average and I created these 7 incredible principles that have taken
Wow.
me all over the world into some phenomenal places, teaching individuals how to turn their average into all. Myself, I had to make a decision, number 1, to participate in my own rescue.
Right. Absolutely.
Number
Absolutely.
2, to be a product of the product.
Right.
And to
Right.
number 3, have a truthful story.
That's good.
And so
That's
this
good.
is how we've created Breaking the Spirit of Average and this entire Average Breaker movement. And man, the best is yet to come.
Absolutely. And as we think about the child, because you talked about the significance of your mother,
Yes.
and the role she played in helping shape and develop really who you are
Sure.
today
Absolutely.
through that. Speak to those who didn't have the mother
Mm-hmm.
or didn't have the father, didn't have that support system, and either are consciously or subconsciously using what they didn't have as an excuse
Mm-hmm.
to remain average. You may touch on that in the book, but let's just speak on that briefly, because so many people will make excuses for
Right.
staying average
Right.
based on something that happened 20 years ago.
Right. And you know, it's interesting that you asked that question because I had a very close family member
Okay.
of mine who used that same excuse.
Right.
And is using the same excuse today. And you can tell that it's worked for him very well because of where he's living and how he's living.
Right.
You know, we
Right.
used to say that it takes a village to raise a child.
Right.
But what do we do when the village has been asleep?
That's good.
And so what I say to those individuals that are looking for excuses to make, if you continue to look for them and you continue to live by them, then you're going to reap what comes from that.
Absolutely.
Today, you can make a decision to say that I'm going to participate in my own rescue.
Right.
My father wasn't there. It was just
Right.
me and my mother. And, you know,
And she was bipolar.
and I
Let's
mean,
reiterate
no, let's
that.
just keep it real. And she was
Exactly.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real.